Hello my YouTube beauties, welcome back to my channel. Today we're finally getting to test out the Undone Beauty makeup that I got in the mail like, oh my gosh, a long time ago. You know what, life's just been busy, being pregnant is hard, and yeah. So I'm super excited to sit down and actually test out some of these products. Remember, they come in these like little Spy Kids packaging. So I have some different products here that I want to test out. If you enjoy reviews and first impressions, then be sure to give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe if you're enjoying the content and want to stick around. So like I said, I have a few different products to test out. I don't have a full face, but I have some solid products here. I have a matte foundation tint thing. I have the Undone powder. I also have an eyeshadow palette, a warm-up bronzer, which looks kind of like a bronzer and highlight. And then I have a eyebrow gel tint, which I'm nervous about. It looks kind of like an eyeliner, and like you have to do some flicky motions. I've never done that before, so we may have some really interesting eyebrows today. As always, all of the products that I'm using will be linked down below, but let's go ahead and start with primer. This is the Tarte Clean Slate. Great primer. It's like probably my holy grail primer at this point. Just really good at smoothing out your pores, making your skin look really, really soft. First product I have is the Undone Beauty Matte Unfoundation Matte Tint. This has tea tree oil and it's for blemish and oil control. It says light coverage. I have mine in the shade Porcelain Light, which I believe is it's the second to lightest shade. The first one looked really yellow and deeper than this one. There's only 9 shades of this, so not a great shade range. This retails for $14. I got all of this stuff on Ulta. It says it's for skin types looking for an oil-absorbing finish. It's a barely there, softly matte tint Unfoundation. It's oil-absorbing, buildable. Key features: matte, radiant, natural-looking finish. What does that even mean? I don't get that. Let's test it out. I like all of these products, I have no clue how they perform. I don't know how people are liking them. I've seen Undone Beauty at Target, and I just recently saw it start being sold in Ulta, which is why I picked it up. But I'm excited to test it out. We'll see. We'll see how it does. It does come in a squeeze tube, which I appreciate for travel. It's like not running at all. I'm gonna go in with my sponge. Definitely smells like tea tree oil. If you are sensitive to that smell, beware, because it kind of reeks of it. Tea tree oil is really good for blemish prone skin. Clearly I have some blemishes going on here. Okay, it looks like it just kind of blended away and the shade is too light for me. I can already tell you that. I don't know so far. I don't know. The smell is, oh gosh. Being pregnant, you have a super sense of smell. So this is kind of rough right now. I'm definitely gonna have to go in with a bronzer. Holy cow, that is not my right shade. Oh no. And just like that, all of the product is gone from the container. Definitely very light coverage. Right away, I'm not loving how it's sitting on the skin. It might be because it's too light for me, but we'll see here. I'm gonna add just a little more. I know this is supposed to be an Undone foundation where it's not too much coverage. I'm just gonna add a little bit more to my cheek area. This scent is something else, guys. I forgot how strong tea tree smells like. We are very zoomed in. Here's how it's looking on the skin. It's like, it looks like it's sitting right on my cheek area. And on my nose, it definitely is not blending great. I think my forehead looks fine, but it just seems like right here, it looks almost dry and like it's sitting on top of the skin right here. All right, gonna take a concealer since I don't have a concealer from this line. Don't know if they have a concealer. They have a ton of different things. I just kind of picked what I thought would look or like I would enjoy the most. This is the Tarte Shape Tape, clearly darker than the rest of my foundation. All right, I have the Undone Under Over Powder. It has balancing jojoba extract It's a 2-in-1 prime and set powder. I have mine in the shade Light, which is the lightest shade. There's only 3 shades to this powder. There's a light, banana bear, and medium. This retails for $12. It says that it is a light, translucent powder that creates a perfect base and locks in makeup. Oil control for lasting shine, naked skin finish. So far. I don't know if it's like both of these together, but they're just not sitting wonderfully. I can see it looking pretty dry, kind of like right in this area. I'm going to take the remainder of the matte tint, just use it as an eyeshadow base. Why not? It does seem like it's oxidized since I applied it onto my skin, because you can see like this is still very, very pale. Oh no. Okay, I have to zoom you in again. This is bad. Do you guys see the creasing on my forehead? And I set it down. I'm gonna try to go over it one more time. I'm not sure if this powder is translucent. I feel like it definitely has a color to it. Not a fan of how this is going on so far. Not a fan. Maybe I'll do an update later today just to show you guys, because it's kind of going downhill just as I'm wearing it. I also just leave you zoomed in, so you're welcome. Next, we have the Warm Up Bronzer. It is a customizable blending, bronzing, and highlighting palette for face and body. Ultra fine. It's a 4-in-1 palette that has 2 matte shades and 2 non-sparkly shimmer shades, which the 2 matte shades are at the top right here, and then the sparkly one, non-sparkly, but the shimmery highlights are down here. Here's what it looks like. They look promising. The bronzers look really harsh. I don't know. We'll see. Here's the issue with these palettes. Like, how do you just get one little row? You know, my brush is bigger than just a tiny little thing. So I'm just gonna lightly tap, try and go in with this shade right here. Let's see here. Seems very warm to me. It's like a Kardashian bronze. This is very pigmented. You have to be really careful. I also feel like it's lifting up the product right here, like the foundation and powder, especially right here on this like acne area. I feel like it's lifting the product. Let's try the highlight. Let's see if that's any good. I'm gonna go in with the fairest shade down here. This icy one looks really nice. For this saying it's not a sparkly highlight, it definitely has some sparkle in it. It's not horrible, but there is sparkle. This is I would say the bronzer section is just way too deep for someone that's as fair as me, and way too warm, like really, really warm. Let's go ahead and try this. Let's see if this is any good. The whole video might be a fail, by the way. This is the Longwear Fill and Gel Tint. This is Flawlush Brow is what it is. This is what it looks like. I'm a little nervous about this. I have the shade Warm Brown. It says it's a Longwear Fill and Gel Tint. It has a spoolie with Longwear gel that creates an all-day full naturally groomed brow, and a precision felt tip pen for filling and enhancing. It has castor oil in it. So you're supposed to use the spoolie first and then go in with the little flicky part. We may have some very bushy looking brows. I'm feeling this is more of like a boy brow kind of situation. Definitely prefer the spoolie, like for the Milk Kush brow gel. Something that's a little bit shorter of a wand. Like the spoolie just feels really, I don't know, really long. Okay, let's try this little flicky thing. This scares me. I had to take a big breath because swish and flick. Okay, this isn't so bad. This is different for me. It's a little bit bushier in the front part there. I could see this product being really good if you don't have a whole lot of natural brow hairs. Like, I don't really struggle with that, so it's not too bad. I like how precise the edge of my brow looks. Like this line is giving me the feels. And I don't mind having a little bit more of like a thicker looking brow on the inside. Not too shabby. I feel like $10 is pretty reasonable also for the price of that. I did not put any blush on, so let's go ahead and add just a tiny bit of the NYX Sweet Cheeks matte. Yes, I'm still on it. It's pretty much the only blush I'm continuing to use because it's just so pretty. Last product I have to try out from them is this eyeshadow palette, which also concerns me. It's the Curator eyeshadow palette. It has a conditioning castor oil. It says transforms from shadow to liquid liner. How does one do that? I don't know. This is a wet to dry eye palette. One thing that I appreciate about, like in the description, it says, why are so many eyeshadow palettes gigantic, yet full of colors we don't use? It seems like this is kind of the eyeshadow palette of like everyday colors. Use dry powder for smoky soft textures or wet powder for defined liquid lines. I don't know which one is wet and which one is dry, or if there even is a difference. If I want more intense color, it says to dampen my brush with water before swiping it over eyeshadow, which is something that we do a lot with like other eyeshadow palettes anyway, right? It's not too far out there. The one thing I will say, do you guys see how it says Curator? Like this is what the palette is. When I go to open it, I have to peel this off. So when I peel off that sticker, all that information like right here just kind of goes away. It's on the back, but you know, it's kind of a lot of information to just like peel right off the package. I do like the shades in the palette. It feels like there's kind of like two little palettes within this one. So I'm gonna take a big fluffy brush, go in first maybe with this middle shade. Again, not a huge fan of this like one line package, or like, you know, there's just their individual kind of like that. It's just hard to grab the product. I feel like that did nothing for me. I do feel like as I'm sitting here, the foundation is warming up to my skin. Still not a huge fan of how it's sitting, but it looks like it's deepened a little bit. So it might oxidize just a tiny bit. Using a ton of this shade and it's barely giving me any payoff. And there's only 4 or 5 mattes in the palette and not a whole lot of transition shades. So I just went in with this brown right here. So far, this brand is not blowing me away, which is kind of a bummer. I mean, like I was excited for this, but right now it is, I'm not gonna be doing like a full 10-hour wear test with all these products. It is 3 o'clock right now. So I'll just check back at the very end of the night. This brown shade seems to be a lot more pigmented, which I appreciate. I think for my eyes, what I wanna do is go in with a mixture of this sparkly gold shade and then this light shade kind of towards the inner part of my eye. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this gold right here, apply it kind of on the outer part of my eye. Not as pigmented as I was hoping. I think the color is okay. Let's take this icy white, kind of fading it towards the, whoa. Okay, towards the inner part of my eye. Oh, I might have just ruined it. Just gonna blend the two here. That is all we can do at this time. And it's going all over my face. Not sure how I feel about that decision. It's going everywhere and it's not coming off. What the heck? I'm gonna take just a tiny bit of that on this eye. See, just kind of blend. That's what I wanted, not this. What the heck is this over here? So far, this eyeshadow palette's just okay. I like these lighter shades. I like that they have a lighter side to the palette and then a deeper side, but I'm just not really like loving how it's applying. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply some mascara. I'm gonna take the Say mascara. This has been my go-to mascara for the last few weeks. It is so good. So I'm gonna take this, do my lashes. I don't think I'm gonna use any eyeliner or anything today, and then I will be right back to share my thoughts about how everything applied. And then of course at the end of the night, we'll do a check-in as well. Just finished up the rest of my makeup. Like I said, for mascara, I use the Say mascara. And then for lips, I added an oldie but a goodie, the ColourPop Lippy Stick in the shade Brink. This used to be my holy grail lip product. It is not long lasting and it is just kind of like, you know, kind of like a crayon, but it's really easy to apply. Yeah, haven't worn it and I wanted to bring it back out. So that's everything on my face. Let's do a quick review of like which products I think right off the bat are worth it to me and which products I'm like, eh. Or which products just totally suck. So far, the foundation I wasn't 100% pleased with. I don't think that I liked the application. I don't mind the coverage at all. It just is kind of how it's sitting on my skin. Now, I have oily skin, so the fact that this makes my skin look a little bit more dry definitely says something. Like, I don't think this would be for someone that has dry or even like normal skin. We're gonna have to see if it actually does hold up and, you know, control my oil throughout the day. So this is an right now. The powder, I don't think really did a whole lot. Like, you know, I started creasing kind of like right away on my forehead. I feel like it just didn't really set down my foundation and my makeup the way that my Laura Mercier powder does, or even some like my Maybelline Fit Me powder. Some of my more affordable powders just perform better than this. And I don't ever see myself using it as an under powder because it's described as being able to use it as a priming powder and an over powder, like something to set down liquid foundation with. I'm never going to use powder as a primer. It just is not in the cards for me ever. So I don't see myself using it in that way. And if I can't really, like, if it doesn't look good on top of something that's liquid, why am I even using it? So this is, I think, just an for me as well. I'm going to have to see, like, we'll see how these look at the end of the day, but they're not impressing me so far. Looking at my skin now, I don't think that the bronzer looks too warm for me, but applying it originally, I was like, whoa, this is really, really deep and very warm toned. I do like the highlight though. So I'm gonna have to continue to test this out. I would say if you're fair skinned, maybe like be really careful when you apply this, because I was nervous to apply too much and have it look a little bit more orange. Like, I feel like this is a tone of a bronzer that definitely could pull orange very quickly. Then we have the little brow like gel and flick pen thing here. I actually think out of everything that I use, this is what I enjoyed the most, and this was what I was like the most worried about. I really like how my brows look. I feel like the brow flick situation gave me a little bit of a sharper line at the very end of my brow, and then also just gave it a little bit more of a fluff right here than a typical brow pencil would do for me. So I really like it. I feel like the color is nice and they look nice and fluffy. And then we have the eyeshadow palette that I use. I like how my eyes look right now. I feel like the shimmer shades probably are going to be significantly more intense if you use them wet. I don't see myself using eyeshadow as an eyeliner. Like, I'm just going to go in with a regular eyeliner. I don't know. It seems like the idea behind this palette was okay, like it was well intended, but I would not say the shades are anything amazing, and it took me a while to build up some of the mattes in here. So far, my favorite thing is this little brow gel flicky thing. So I don't even know what to call it, but because it has like 15,000 names on the package. So I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna go throughout my day. I think we're gonna do a Target run, see about a car seat. Car seats are really confusing. I've learned there's like thousands of different kinds of them. And so we're gonna do that. If you guys did not know, Chris is also building the crib for baby boy. So I'm sure that we'll post updates like along the way too of that. If you want to go follow my husband, he has his own Instagram page. It's called Willicky Woodworking. That's our last name. Yeah, if you want to go support him, see the progress that has been happening over with the crib. He's doing so good. Like, he is just being so creative and I love it. He's just doing really well documenting everything that he's doing. So I will have his Instagram linked for you if you are curious. But I'm gonna wear this throughout the day, see if my thoughts have changed, see how things wear. Hopefully they don't go significantly downhill from here, but I will see you guys at the very end of the evening. It is 9:30 and I figured I could film the outro to this video on my phone because I can actually like show you up close how my skin is looking. I will say that Chris, even said it is sitting on my skin. It's like sitting on top of my pores really weird. It's just not, the foundation and the powder is just a no-go for me. I was not a fan of how these held up. So here's how it's looking. Definitely wore better since some oil came into my skin. Just not overall very happy with those products. Still really like the brow flicky thing. I'm gonna call it that forever, basically. But yeah, I think those products, I just wasn't super happy with how they wore. So big thumbs down for me for those. If you have tried any of these products, please let me know down below. What are some of your thoughts? Do you like them? Do you not? So I think I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up the video here. Thank you so much for watching. I love you guys, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.